Shalom, Kol Halo, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha, Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than never. The would-be judges, the 144,000 judges of Israel, which are the seed of Jacob, and the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners, among the heathen nation that have the spirit or the appearance of the heathen nations, but are the seed of Jacob that is scattered. All right, this is not a black thing. And to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you another lesson in truth. And I want to read a couple scriptures first. This is Mark 3 and 23. And it reads, "And he called them unto him and said unto them in parables." And this is the disciples that Yahweh Shai, the Hamashiach, called unto him. "And he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, How can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against Satan and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end." I keep telling you that there's an ongoing war between Christianity and Orthodox, whether it be the Orthodox Russian Church, all right, or the Orthodox Greeks Church, the Catholic Church, or Judaism. There is a war going on between them, all right, because the rabbis, I pointed out, Western Christianity, all right, being the Christians in Europe for the most part, and the Christians in America, definitely. He pointed them out. The rabbis are pointing them out as being Esau, Edom. All right. And then you have some Christian sects in America pointing out the Israelis or the rabbis as being Esau, Edom. All right, like in the book Who is Esau, Edom, written by what's his name, Charles Weisberg, I believe that's his name. He's pointing out the Israelis or the Jewish, all right, remember the suffix ish means to be like, okay, he's pointing them out to be the nation of Edom. All right, so there's a problem, and the opponents of the Hebrew Israelites don't speak on this at all. Now, I watched this full video. It was only like 9. This was a segment from a show, and she had Brother Nathaniel. And I learned a lot from this guy years ago. I used to watch his videos all the time because he was constantly going in on the Jewish. And now he's been basically labeled as he's labeled as being hateful or anti, semantics, even though he's Jewish himself by birth. He was born and raised, in Orthodox Judaism, but he converted to the Russian Orthodox Church. So he's a very controversial individual. And one of the reasons he was controversial is simply because he spoke the truth on some matters concerning the Israelis in Israel. And he pointed out the fact, and he's the first person and that's why I learned and did the research about Fort Antonia. I learned this actually from him. He was the first person I heard say it. And about the Wailing Wall. The Wailing Wall is what's left of Fort Antonia. Then I went and looked up the history on it. So, and you have to remember, it tells you in the Bible that there will be no stone, no stone left standing of the temple. Yahweh Shai told you that. In his own words, he told you there will be no stone left, man. All right. And so these people And when he said, if you tear down this temple, I'll build it up in, in 3 days, they didn't understand that it is spiritual, that your body is the temple. The third temple is the Israelites being reinstated here on earth. It's not a physical building. You keep hearing people talk about the building of the third temple. This is how you know that they don't know what they're talking about and the Lord's not dealing with them. All right. The Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands. It tells you that clearly in the scriptures in multiple places. Let me get one. Then I'm going to play a few minutes of this video. It's Acts 7 and 48. I think 17 and 4. Yeah, Acts 7 and 48 reads, howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophets. All right, so the third temple is the house of David being built. But that's a part of the great awakening, of the Israelites awakening. And see, that doctrine destroys the fraud that is within Judaism, which all these leads come out from. Like the what do they call them? The Anti-Defamation League, and the ADL, and see all those types of things, because they're deeply rooted in Judaism. And according to Judaism, these people have been the people all along, with records to show it, which completely goes against what's written in the Torah and the Tanakh. The Israelites will be scattered among all people, lose their heritage, and in the last days, before the return of their Messiah, they would awaken and remember themselves. That's the story that's the official story in the Bible. But that's not what Judaism nor Christianity teaches. They avoid the topic of the seed line of the house of David being a seed line. Okay, let's go to Acts. I think it's 17:4. Yeah, it's not Acts 17:4. Maybe it's 24. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while. So, yep. It says, Acts 17:24. God that made the world and all things therein, seeing that he is the Lord of heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temples made with hands. I just heard a rumor. I don't know if it's true. It might be that Trump is building another image of Edomite Cesare Borgia, the whitewashed, fraudulent image of the Lord at the White House. All right, it's funny doing all this stuff for Christian values, but yet America follows nothing when it comes to so-called Christianity. And in the Bible, the first Christians, if you were going to build anything to acknowledge the Lord, it would be a 7-candle menorah. All right, which when he appeared in. Not the thing that he died on. It doesn't, and like I let a Catholic know, a Mexican last week, when I had him read Job, you see the symbol on top of Brother Nathaniel's head. The only time that to and fro and up and down, that's the cross you're seeing on the head, right? The only time that's mentioned is when Satan does it. Right? When the Lord asked him in Job, the first and second chapter, where he had been. So, if you look at the cross, this is what they do. They go to and fro and up and down. To and fro, up and down. That's what they do. And, and just saying. And that's what the symbol is on his head. That to and fro and up and down. And that's exactly how they cross themselves up. So these people do the opposite of what was written in the scriptures. And when the Lord appears, he appears in Revelation, the 7th chapter. And this is totally organic. I watched this video first. I've been wanting to do a response to it. I put it in my evidence, folder in my YouTube evidence folder, and the scriptures that videos that I keep that I made or want to do a response to, and I watched it. And all this is just coming organically from the Lord, man. But, Revelation 1, I think it's 1 and 7 or 1 and 13. Revelation 1 and 13. In the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, girt about the paps with the golden girdle. When the Lord appeared, he appeared his appearance, it was like if you had the menorah with the you know, and he appeared behind it in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, right? And then it goes on to describe him, all right, which we'll do that. And you know, shortly after I play a few minutes of this video, about 4 minutes of it, because you know he doesn't really say much in this video, and like I said, they pulled a lot of his videos down off of the YouTube because he kept exposing Judaism and exposing their lies, all right, because he became this God love everybody Christian, you know, and saying that Judaism is false and all that other stuff, and you know, and the rabbis, you know, all these leagues. You know, like I said, the Anti-Defamation League has labeled him as, you know, as a hate speech person or whatever. All right, but here we go.
This conversation is going to go. I'm a little nervous about what our guest is going to say. Our guest tonight is Brother Nathaniel, host of Bible.
Why did he look like he was about to say aha? Okay.
With Brother. He grew up Jewish, then became an Orthodox Christian later in life. He's made quite a few controversial, fiery statements, which have led to him being listed in the Anti-Defamation League glossary of extremism and hate. He says no one understands Kanye better than him, and that Christianity is being destroyed throughout the world. He recently posted "White Babies Now," which caused a lot of controversy and maybe even some misunderstanding.
So what does "White Babies Now" have to do with Christianity? You see, so even this guy, you know, it's all a show, because he's basically going to tell on themselves because he's still down with the ish, and you'll see.
Clarify on all of that, but I got to be honest, I have no idea what he's going to say and whether or not I'm going to regret having this conversation. Oh, Brother Nathaniel, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
So that goes to show you she has no idea what he's going to say, which means that you know, Kim Iverson understands that you can't really speak against, you know, the small hats, against the converts. All right, against the ish. You know, you come against the J-ish and you could have problems. You could get canceled. All right, like pretty much like Brother Nathaniel did, because his, you know, I used to watch his videos on, you know, on the YouTube all the time and do responses to them. He disappeared. They got rid of him. Okay, but after watching this interview, you know, the Spirit showed me that this is all a game. It's all a part of the show. He's controlled opposition. All right, and you know, go look up that saying. Go learn about what controlled opposition is. All right.
To be here at Valentine's message. I love all of mankind. That means male and female. Okay, mankind. All right.
Okay. All right. Okay. So. Let's just get right to the nitty gritty. Let's start off with, do you hate Jews? Because that is the big, you don't.
Well, why would I hate anybody? Okay. Now, maybe some people's actions, maybe their conduct, but no, I don't hate anybody. And what's interesting when you ask me that, I'm still hooked into the Jewish community. It's kind of impossible not to when you have a Jewish nefesh. That means you're unique. You have a Jewish soul, which Gentiles don't have. Okay, and they're always.
So there you go. If he truly believed in Christianity, he wouldn't have even said that. And if you noticed, you have an image of a pale Mary. It looks like a biracial baby Yahushai, but an adult, white, you know, pale. Or should I say red, what they really are. There's no such thing as white people. All right. Jesus here, or Yahushai, a fraudulent. Actually, that is Jesus. That's not Yahushai. And then he calls him Yeshua HaMashiach, you know, the Hamashiach, and he loves, he wants to tell the world about him. Well, the Russian Orthodox Church revealed that he's swarthy and made public statements that they would worship him and accept him that way. Okay. fact, let's click here. Right. This was on Weon. All right. And you can clearly see that these people are swarthy in complexion. And the Lord was even darker than that. Matter of fact, going back to Revelation, the 13th chapter, the first chapter, the 14th verse, it said his head and his hairs were white like wool, white as snow, and his eyes was a flame of fire, and his feet were like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. So let me go to my receipts. Now I got this, my evidence folder. I want to find, I had that thing for so long. Hopefully I still have it. But it's a image of Jake holding a piece of brass, a brown man holding a piece of brass in his hand. And you see how close in complexion. I know I have that image, but I can't find it. I got to find where that image is and then put it in this receipt folder. All right. But you've seen a penny, an old copper penny, especially after it oxidizes and it gets dark. It begins to look a lot like the skin complexion of this individual here. All right. Which they love to put that African title on the Israelites, knowing that they're two different people, as the Zondervan scholars, these Jewish scholars, pointed out. All right, they pointed out that the Negroes and the Egyptians, the Libyans, and the Canaanites, those are Hamites. Those are the inhabitants of Africa and the part north of Africa, mostly where the so-called Middle East, because the Hamites were occupying the north of Africa as well, the sons of Canaan. All right. But the Negroes, all right, it points out in the Zondervan's Dictionary Bible and the Young's Dictionary Bible, another set of Jewish scholars, it pretty much says the same thing, that the Negroes were not of the line of Shem. So we know that they're not Japhet. So they're not of the line of Ham, Salakia, excuse me. It's telling you right here, they're not Hamites. We know that they're not Japhet. That only leaves Shem. All right. And then the Bible confirms that, but yet Judaism and Christianity ignores what's written in the Bible 100% when it comes to the appearance of the Lord. All right. So I don't want to hear this video. Let's just go a little bit further. Few more images. All right. It's showing you melanated people with woolly type hair. And this guy gave his speech about the Lord looking, because these images that they were using, trying to find it. There's a scene where Putin opens up. No. And they still toned it down. I was just trying to find it. Well, there's this part when Putin was sitting down, but nevertheless, you're seeing melanated people with woolly type hair, all right? Not blonde hair. And there's a part in here where Putin was sitting down and he opened up that little, because they even toned this one down, because a lot of those images that really showed them like really, really dark, going back about 6 months, almost a year ago, a little over 6 months ago, a lot of that stuff have been scrubbed from. You won't find that stuff. I'll just leave that there. Yeah, it's hard to find it now. All right, if you didn't screenshot it and save it, a lot of the stuff has been scrubbed. But let's do this now. Let's go to Revelation. 4 and 3, one of my favorite scriptures. All right, because it's telling you once again. All right. What the Lord's appearance looked like. Okay. Oh wow, what's this right here? I just looked over at the thumbnails. It's probably gonna show a damn commercial first, so of course, fucking bastards. It's your red ass. Look, see, and I'm glad. You know what? I'm glad he's got on a white shirt and look at his skin. There's no such thing as white people. Thank you, Esau. Piece of shit. All right, so there you go. There's your Cesare Borgia. And there's his sister that he was actually having sexual relations with. And the Lord is kind of described more like the man you just saw. And not like this at all. That's a fabrication. So let's get to it when these icons pop out. Yeah, Cesare Borgia again. All right. So, come on. What just happened here is what they're saying. That's the name of the video. What just happened? So what they're doing is that, there we go. No, let's freeze it right there. The originals. Then you see what came afterwards. It says the name of this: Russia opens centuries-old cellars and reveal black biblical Israelites. Well, they're really brown. See, because once again, they love to use that word black. Okay? These images are brown. It's not black at all. The skin is brown. Just like this this skin was brown. All right? Not black. Even the African, who's darker, is still brown. He's the darker shade. The Israelites look like a caramel or a milk chocolate, and the African looks like it is a dark chocolate. Still brown. Nobody's black in these three images. Okay? So it's all wordplay. Oh yeah, here's another one from that time period. Found that in my phone. Okay? That's from the 14th or 15th century as well. All right, some of those images from those Russian icons. All right, even going back to the 8th century and earlier, there's a lot of them. Okay, these are from the Montserrat Church. Okay, I did find these. Hold on, let me see how. Yep, that's what these are from, and then I'm gonna read that Revelation. Okay, that's from that church in Montserrat. You can't get around this, man. You know, so the I always tell you that the artifacts tell a different story what the text does. Okay? A complete and total different story, man. And here's with some even earlier ones. All right, these are even earlier than the 15th century, 14th century. So these people are brown, swarthy. Okay. So let's read that Revelation. And it reads, and he that sat, Revelation 4:3, and he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and sardine stone, because he was sitting on a throne. Matter of fact, let me read up. Now I'm going to start at verse 1. Revelation 4:1. The point is in 3, but I'm going to start at verse 1. After this I looked, and behold, a door was open in heaven, and the first voice which I heard was as if it were a trumpet talking with me, which said, Come up hither, and I will show you the things which must be hereafter. And immediately I was in the spirit, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, and the one that sat on the throne. And he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and sardine stone. All right. And there was a rainbow round about the throne, and in the sight like unto an emerald. So, you know, it's sad that, you know, a holy symbol like a rainbow now has been connected to what is connected to down here. All right. Like it is in Pink City, but these are supposedly, you know, supposed to be the people of the Lord. So and it said that the one that sat on the throne looked like, you know, a jasper and a sardine stone. Well, that I do have. So, yeah. And that looks nothing like the images that was behind Brother Nathaniel. You know what it does look like? It looks a lot like these two. A jasper and a sardine stone. all right, a jasper, and a sardine stone. Let's get it again. And it's funny too, because when I think back, you know, even when I was in school, I learned much more being visual. You know, as a matter of fact, here we go. This is from the book The Negroes and the Jews by Lenore B. Burson, Burson, and it says, "The Negroes and the Jews. The Negroes claim to be Jewish is legitimate. No, their claim to be Israelites is legitimate. The land of Israel is located in Western Asia. What do I always tell you? The borders of North Africa, all of the natives of the region were non-white. All right. Why? And remember, those Hamites, those chocolate Hamites, were in Western Asia when the Israelites took it from them, which was ordained of the Lord. The Lord already said that was the curse that fell upon Canaan. That was his curse. He lost his land when he cursed Ham's son, Canaan. All right. It says when Spain expelled its Jews, the Moriscos, the Morenos, the Sephardim, all right, in 1492, many of them went to Africa. They went mostly to West Africa. It seems probable, no, it's a fact, that some of them were brought later to America as slaves. So it's not probable. It's a fact. They weren't bringing Hamites. Africans weren't selling Africans. Africans were selling Israelites. Okay, the spirituals never sing in African rivers. It always was in the Jordan or Red Sea. Why would Africans be singing about the Red Sea or Jordan? Though they don't sing about African chiefs or kings. It's David or Moses or some other Israelite characters from the Bible, not Jewish. All right, remember that word Jewish is a hijack. So once again, there is a difference between a Hamite and an African. They weren't singing of African kings. They weren't singing of African rivers. They were singing about the Jordan. They were singing about David and Moses. Why? They even showed you in the movie Amistad, the little girls were doing the little hand clap thing, what they call patty cake, and they were saying Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. Now we know that it was Yahweh. All right, same as the natives. So, truth be said, Esau, Edom, it's simply a liar and cannot be trusted, man. It cannot be trusted. So I'll get ready to wrap this up. You know, like I said, this was all organic. I didn't, I just kind of went off the spirit. Let me go to Second Ezra and close with that. Because I thought this would be about a, 10, 15-minute video. And here we are right about the half-hour mark, which is typically what most of my videos are these days. All right. Oh, yeah, Second Ezra 6:27. And it reads, "For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth which have been so long without fruit shall be declared." All right, so, we don't have to say slanderous things about the J-ish or, or insult them. All we have to do is just simply speak the truth of what's written in the scriptures. That's it. And point out how the scriptures back up history, but history does not back up Judaism. History does not back up Christianity doctrines. Christian does not back up Orthodox Church, Christian churches doctrines, whether it be Russian, Greek, or whatever. It doesn't back them up at all. Some people will be offended at that, but the truth has a way of doing that. All right, so with that, I want to give all praises, all honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash, Kwam Yasharala, Abba Babal.